she said, when he calls me wifey. It's just an inside joke. I packed my things without arguing. She brought him to the apartment 2 days later to clear the air. Everything was gone. My note said, the joke's over. So are we. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I, 29M, thought my girlfriend, 27F, and I were building something real. We met 3 years ago through mutual friends at a casual get-together in the city. Emily was vibrant, always the center of attention with her quick wit and infectious laugh. I was the steady one, a software developer with a predictable routine, but I made sure to show up for her in ways that mattered. I relocated to this city for her job opportunity in marketing, handled most of the bills when she was between gigs, and even covered her student loans a couple times without making a fuss. Looking back, I sacrificed a lot. Weekends helping her network, late nights listening to her vent about work drama. I thought that's what partnership was. But cracks started showing about 6 months ago. Emily began spending more time with her work friend Jake. He'd text her at odd hours, and I'd catch glimpses of messages where he'd call her wifey. The first time I saw it, my stomach dropped. I asked her about it casually one evening while we were cooking dinner. Hey, who's this Jake guy calling you wifey in his texts? Kinda weird, right? She rolled her eyes, not even looking up from chopping vegetables. Oh, come on, Alex. It's just an inside joke. We've been collaborating on this big project, and he started calling me that because I organized everything like a boss wife would. You're being paranoid. Lighten up. I wanted to believe her. I mean, why rock the boat over something she dismissed so easily? But it kept happening. She'd laugh at his messages during our movie nights, typing back furiously while I sat there feeling like an afterthought. Then came the social media posts, subtle at first. A photo of them at a team happy hour, captioned, work wifey duties with my favorite collaborator. Face with tears of joy hashtag inside jokes. Comments from her friends egging it on. You two are couple goals. She'd like those, never correcting them. I felt like a backup plan, sidelined in my own relationship. Flashback to last year. She lost her job unexpectedly, spiraling into anxiety. I was there every step, updating her resume, practicing interviews with her, even dipping into my savings to keep the rent paid. You're my rock, Alex, she'd say, curling up against me. Now, she compared me to Jake constantly, in little digs that stung. Jake's so spontaneous. He surprised the team with tickets to a concert last week. We could use more of that energy. Or, why can't you be more fun like him? All you do is code and chill. It built up, this emotional abandonment. I'd come home to an empty apartment more often, her out networking with him. One night, I found a receipt for a fancy dinner for two, places we never went because we're saving. When confronted, she shrugged. Client meeting. Jake knows how to close deals. But the lies piled on. Mutual friends mentioned seeing them looking cozy at bars. I was loyal to a fault, committed despite the red flags, but the disrespect gnawed at me. I deserved better than being her safety net while she chased excitement elsewhere. The turning point came when I overheard her on the phone with her sister. Alex is great, but Jake just gets me. Calling me wifey is our thing. It's harmless fun. Harmless? It felt like a punchline I wasn't in on. I sat with that confusion for days, questioning if I was overreacting. The unfairness hit hard. Why was I pouring everything into us while she treated me like an option? It all came to a head one Friday evening. I'd just gotten home from a long day at work, looking forward to our usual takeout and unwind. Emily was already there, pacing the living room with her phone in hand. She looked up when I walked in, her expression a mix of defiance and smugness, like she'd rehearsed this. We need to talk, Alex, she said, crossing her arms. I set down my bag, sensing the shift. Okay, what's up? She sighed dramatically, as if I was the one burdening her. Look, I've been thinking a lot. It's not working for me anymore. You're stable, sure, but I need more excitement, more passion. Jake and I, we've gotten close. Really close. My heart sank, but I kept my face neutral. Close how? Don't play dumb. You saw the texts. The wifey thing? Yeah, it's more than a joke now. We've been seeing each other for a couple months. He makes me feel alive, Alex. With you, it's just routine. Comfortable, but boring. I deserve someone who challenges me, not someone who plays it safe all the time. I stood there, processing her words. The cruelty hit like a wave, dismissing our life as boring after everything I'd done. But I didn't yell or beg. So you're choosing him? She nodded, a smirk tugging at her lips like she was proud of her decision. Yeah, I am. And honestly, I think it's for the best. You'll find someone who's okay with your whole, predictable vibe. Jake's taking me on a weekend trip next month. Spontaneous, you know? Something you'd never do. Her justifications twisted like a knife. Predictable? I moved here for you. I supported you through unemployment, paid for everything when you couldn't. And this is how you repay that, by cheating and calling it excitement? She waved a hand dismissively. Oh, please, don't make this about money or favors. That's not love, that's obligation. Jake doesn't keep score like that. He just gets it. And the wifey nickname? It started as fun, but now it feels right. We're moving forward. You should too. I felt the confusion swirl. How could she twist our history into something toxic? Her logic was hypocritical. I'd been the one adapting, while she manipulated the narrative to paint me as the problem. So what now? You want me out? Actually, I was thinking you could stay on the couch for a bit until you find a place. Jake's coming over in a couple days to help sort things out. Clear the air, you know? Make it less awkward. Smug didn't even cover it. She was planning to parade him in our home. Clear the air? With the guy you cheated with. She laughed. A short, condescending bark. See? This is why. You're so uptight. It's not cheating if the spark was already gone. Grow up, Alex. Life's too short for mediocrity. I didn't argue further. The unfairness burned, but I nodded calmly. Fine, if that's how you feel. She seemed surprised by my lack of outburst, but shrugged it off. Good. I'm crashing at a friend's tonight. We'll talk more later. As she grabbed her coat and left, I sat on the couch, the silence deafening. The confusion hit hard. Replaying her words, the twisted excuses. How had I become the villain in her story? I let the pain sit there that night, staring at the ceiling, feeling discarded like yesterday's news. But something shifted. I didn't want to fight for someone who saw me as a stepping stone. By morning, resolve set in. I wouldn't beg or confront. I'd just detach. That weekend, while Emily was out, probably with him, I made my move. No dramatic scene, no emotional outburst. I methodically packed my things, clothes, books, the tech gear I'd bought, even the coffee maker that was technically mine. The apartment felt like a shell already, stripped of the life we'd built. I handled the logistics quietly, canceled the joint streaming accounts, transferred utilities to her name, and arranged for a storage unit in a nearby suburb. By Sunday afternoon, everything I owned was gone. The place looked barren, empty closets, half the furniture missing, the stuff I'd paid for. Even the framed photos I'd hung were down. I left a simple note on the kitchen counter. The joke's over. So are we. No bitterness in the words, just finality. I didn't sign it. She knew my handwriting. I drove to a cheap motel on the outskirts of the city, checked in under my name, and crashed hard. The next day, I called work and requested a transfer to our branch in another state. Something I'd been eligible for, but held off on for her. They approved it quickly. Turns out, they valued my predictable reliability. I spent the following days tying up loose ends, updating my address, blocking her on social media without fanfare. I didn't disappear entirely. Mutual friends could reach me if needed, but I detached from her world. Internally, it wasn't easy. The silence in those first weeks was heavy. I'd wake up replaying her smug justifications, feeling the sting of being undervalued. But I sat with it, no lashing out. Instead, I hit the gym, reconnected with old hobbies like hiking, and focused on my career. Small wins built up. A promotion came through with the transfer, boosting my salary. I rented a small place in the new city, nothing fancy, but mine. For the first time in years, I felt unburdened, like I was rebuilding from a clean slate. I heard through the grapevine that she brought Jake back to the apartment that Monday, expecting to clear the air, with me still there. Apparently, they walked in to find it half empty, my note staring back. No confrontation, just absence. That was my response. Quiet dignity in the face of her cruelty. A few months passed in my new city, and I threw myself into the fresh start. The promotion meant longer hours but better pay, and I used the extra time to explore, hiking trails on weekends, joining a local coding meetup. It was liberating, not having to worry about someone else's drama. I didn't stalk her online, I blocked everything. But word trickled in through mutual friends who reached out occasionally, checking on me. At first, it was casual updates. Hey man, just FYI, Emily's with that Jake guy now. I kept responses neutral. Thanks for letting me know, and steered conversations elsewhere. Then the cracks in her fairy tale started showing. Apparently, Jake wasn't the spontaneous dream she painted. He was a freelancer with inconsistent gigs, more talk than action. From what I heard, he moved into the apartment quick, our old place, and started leaning on her financially. Excitement turned into arguments over bills she couldn't cover alone now that I'd pulled my support. One friend mentioned she'd posted a cryptic status about rough patches, but deleted it fast. Karma ramped up around the 4-month mark. Jake's instability came out full force. Turns out, he was a serial cheater, had a string of exes who'd warned her, but she ignored them, too blinded by the passion. He drained what savings she had on his business ideas that went nowhere, then got verbally abusive during fights, calling her names that echoed her own dismissals of me. The clincher, he cheated on her with a coworker, got caught, and bailed. Left her with the lease, unpaid utilities, and a bruised ego. She tried to spin it on social media as taking time for myself, but mutual friends saw through it. A couple even unfollowed her after hearing the full story, how she'd badmouthed me to justify the affair. Her unraveling was textbook. Distracted at work from the drama, she got let go from her marketing job. Performance issues, they said. Broke and isolated. Her reputation took a hit. People who'd cheered her upgrade now whispered about the hypocrisy. Friends who'd laughed at her inside jokes with Jake distanced themselves, realizing she'd burned bridges. I got a message from one. Dude, she's a mess. Regrets everything. I didn't gloat, just replied, appreciate the heads up. The irony wasn't lost on me. She discarded me like a bad joke, only to become the punchline in her own story. Jake used her and vanished, mirroring how she treated me. It felt earned, not vengeful. I let it sit, focusing on my own growth. I'd lost weight, gained confidence, even started dating casually. Her downfall was background noise, a reminder of what I'd escaped. The attempt started small, about a week after Jake ghosted her. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Hers, I figured, since I'd blocked the old one. Alex, it's M. Can we talk? I miss you. I stared at it, feeling nothing but mild annoyance. No response from me. Then came the calls, voicemails at first, her voice shaky but still laced with that familiar manipulation. Hey, it's me. Look, things with Jake. It was a huge mistake. He wasn't who I thought. You're the stable one, the real deal. I see that now. Call me back. Hypocritical as hell. She'd mocked my stability, now craved it. I deleted it without a second thought. The texts escalated. Please, Alex. I need to explain. It was just a phase, excitement I thought I wanted. But you're my future. Let's meet. Still, silence from my end. She must have gotten my new number from a mutual friend, someone who later apologized for caving. About 2 weeks in, she showed up at my old workplace, not knowing I'd transferred. A colleague texted me, your ex is here looking for you. Seems desperate. I imagined her pacing the lobby, but I was states away, untouchable. Her solo attempts ramped up. One evening, my doorbell rang. She tracked my new address somehow, probably through shared contacts. I opened it cautiously, and there she was, eyes red-rimmed, makeup smudged. Alex, thank God. Can I come in? We need to talk. I stayed in the doorway, expression flat. What do you want, Emily? She launched in, words tumbling out. I screwed up so bad. Jake was awful. He cheated, took my money, yelled at me constantly. I'm broke, jobless, and alone. But you were always there. I realize now how good we had it. Please, give us another chance. I'll change, I swear. No more jokes, no more chasing thrills. Her pleas dripped with desperation, but the hypocrisy shone through, framing her karma as a reason for me to rescue her. You need someone stable now that your excitement blew up? She flinched, but doubled down. Yes, exactly. You're reliable, Alex. I was stupid to throw that away. Let's start over, move back, or I can come here. We can make it work. I shook my head calmly. No, that lit the fuse. Her face twisted. No? After everything? You just left without a fight. Packed up like a coward. How dare you ghost me when I need you most? Like you ghosted our relationship for Jake? I said evenly, no heat. She sputtered. That's different. It was a mistake. You're being petty, punishing me for one slip-up. I closed the door midway. Goodbye, Emily. Locked it, blocked the number she'd used. But she wasn't done. Enter the toxic reinforcements, her family and friends. First, a call from her sister, Mia, always rude, the enabler who'd laughed at her wifey posts. Alex, this is Mia. You need to talk to Emily. She's falling apart because of you. Man up and forgive her. Family sticks together, even if she's not perfect. I kept it brief. We're not family. Don't call again. Blocked. Then her parents. A joint email, judgmental as ever. Son, we've always liked you. Emily's going through a tough time. She told us everything. How you abandoned her without warning. Come back and sort this out like adults. She deserves a second chance. Abandoned her? The twist was laughable. I didn't reply. Emily's anger peaked in a barrage of messages from burner numbers. You're heartless. I bet you're enjoying this. Well, screw you. You'll regret it when I'm back on my feet. Then, pathetically, back to begging. Please, Alex. I have nowhere else to turn. I sat with it all, the escalation confirming her true colors. No confusion left, just clarity. I'd evolved past her chaos. The final nail came at a mutual friend's wedding 8 months later. I debated going. Old circle, potential drama. But it was a close buddy, so I flew back. By then, I was thriving, solid in my job, hitting the gym regularly, and seeing someone new. Her name was Sarah, kind, ambitious, the opposite of Emily's games. We clicked naturally, no inside jokes at my expense. The ceremony was beautiful, but the reception buzzed with whispers when Emily showed up. She looked worn, thinner, forced smile. Friends had filled me in, still unemployed, crashing with her parents, reputation in tatters after Jake's mess leaked. She spotted me across the room, eyes widening as Sarah and I danced. Later, she cornered us at the bar, desperate edge in her voice. Alex, can we talk? Alone. Sarah squeezed my hand supportively. I nodded her off politely. No need. What's up? Emily glanced at Sarah, jealousy flashing. Who's she? My girlfriend, I said simply. She swallowed hard. Look, I see you're doing well. That's great. But I've changed. Jake destroyed me. Abusive, cheating liar. I'm in therapy now, fixing myself. We could try again. You were always the one. Her words echoed her old hypocrisy, using her downfall to manipulate, like I owed her redemption. I met her gaze steadily, indifferent. Emily, that's your path. Mine's here now. I've built a life without the drama, the disrespect. You're irrelevant to it. She teared up, anger bubbling. Irrelevant. After 3 years? You're cold. I thought you cared. I did. Once. But you made your choices. Good luck with yours. I turned back to Sarah, who smiled warmly. Emily lingered a moment, then stormed off, muttering to a friend who shot me an apologetic look. The reversal was stark. Her desperate, me upgraded and at peace. Friends whispered about her scene, solidifying her isolation. As Sarah and I left early, I felt complete, free, evolved. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.